This is Black Views, bringing you the Black news. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Black Views, foundational Black Americans. Black commentary, B1. Grassroots commentary here to inform the people. All right. Black views. All right, Black views. Don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also follow if you're on Twitter, and don't forget to hit the white bell so that you get all the notifications of all the new videos that I have created. How are you today? Hope everything is good for you. Everything is good for me. Today, we're going to have a conversation and we're going to be talking about the firing of Joy Reid. Yes. Joy Reid has been fired. Okay? You see that look on the face? You have been fired because you have failed the people. The people that depended on information, that depended on knowledge, that came by way of media, you have failed. You called Black people bots. You did all types of things. You went out here and you showed your ass. And guess what? You lost the election and you got fired. Think about it. You're a journalist who is basically supposed to be independent of swaying left or right, asking the questions that the people can be informed from, and you're not. You're not doing that. And now you cry before grassroots. And how are we supposed to feel about this? Not a goddamn fuck. And I'm sorry, because you've earned this. Don't like to see people get fired. Don't like to see people let go. But we told you. We warned you. And look what happened. You went out here. You talked crazy about Black men. You did everything you could to separate Black men from Black women. You did everything you could to separate Black men, Black women, and Black children. You are diabolical. So for us to see you cry, we don't give $2. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time fucking Joanne Reid. Let's get right into the material and let's get into the next scene. We'll let Joanne Reid explain why she got fired.
I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value.
Oh, by the way, I put a couple of, Joanne Reid's friends up here so she wouldn't feel bad. All the DNC people that are here to support her along. I also bought her husband as well so we can humanize her. I don't want to totally just be, hard on Joanne Reid because after all, she is human. Okay, let's go.
Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry.
Hold on, let's start that up. Did she say that she felt like she had value to her? Let's try again.
I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value.
To whom got value from Joanne Reid? The only person that got value from Joanne Reid was Joanne Reid. Her information she put out here, the things that she spoke on concerning foundational Black Americans, is just so undermining. She called us bots. She felt that Black people, the grassroots now, that was speaking with knowledge and sense, that were going against the things that she was saying. She is instead of having to speak to them, instead of having to answer to them and the questions that they had, she's just rather called them bots. Bots, just bots.
And value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV.
Joy Reid breaking down in tears over the cancellation of her MSNBC show, The Reid Out.
As you can imagine, I have been through every emotion over the past several days, from, anger, rage, disappointment.
The anger and rage and disappointment about? You did nothing. You had the easiest job in the world. You just sat here and went along with the get along. You weren't objective to anything. We didn't learn anything from you, Miss Joy Reid. We learned nothing from you. All you did was go along with what the Democratic Party said and what the Democratic Party had going on. You didn't ask any objective questions to the leadership and Democratic Party. You didn't do any of that. You didn't do anything for the people that listened to you, Joy Reid. Let's go.
Hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs.
Her team. She let her team lose their job. I think her team saw it a long time ago.
TV correspondent emotional over her firing during an appearance on the Win with Black Women podcast.
The Win with Black Women. Once again, this is pretty much what Joanne Reid, her whole base was of existence, was to continue to separate the Black family, continue to separate the Black man from the Black woman. But as you can see here, she has a Black man, right? She has a Black man, right? But she continued to preach out here to Black women that, there's no accountability. You don't have to listen to the rules, the regulations. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is listen to Joanne Reid. That's why you were fired, Joanne Reid, because in the end, it shows that whatever you were selling, people were not buying. Your ratings were low. No one was listening to you.
I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value. Had value.
That's all she says. It had value. She just had value. She doesn't know what value. She just knows that what she was saying was bullshit. So she's going to say it had value. And the only people that it had value to were the people that were paying.
And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV.
Joy's last episode aired Monday evening.
When you are in the midst of a crisis, and specifically a crisis of democracy, how do you resist?
It's a move that struck a chord with people on both.
He's talking about resisting democracy. Listen. Well, let me turn this down. It might be low on source two. We can have some smoke for Trump, but he's doing so much right now. I haven't seen anybody else rise to the occasion. Let's go.
Sides of the aisle.
I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things.
Democrats voicing their outrage, while many Republicans
And it's funny that she says that because you're going to see in the next scene what she stands up for.
are celebrating her exit, including President Donald Trump, who bashed Joy.
Now, they say Donald Trump bashed her. But it just looks like it was a response to basically the fake news that he had experienced. Look at all the team players here. Low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts, the owner of the ratings challenged NBC and DNC, has finally gotten the nerve up to fire one of the least talented people in television, the mentally obnoxious, racist Joy Reid, based on her ratings, which were virtually non-existent. She should have been canned long ago, along with everyone else who works there. Also thrown out was Alex Wagner, the sub on the seriously failing racist Maddow show. Rachel rarely shows up because she knows there's nobody. Okay, I didn't get that over there, but this goes to show you here. You know, I mean, and who's gonna feel sorry for Joy Reid? She's a Harvard grad. She'll find a job. She wrote many books. She'll find a job.
On Truth Social.
I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show. I'm proud of my little team, the little team that could. I am so proud of what we did.
What did they do?
And so grateful that God gave me nearly 5 years to do it. And in total, nearly 10 years to do television my way, on my terms.
Okay, so that's Miss Joy Reid right there. Her failed situation. Thank you for ET Online, fair use. Now let's move on to the next scene, because it's funny about the next scene, because the next scene is really showing you the work that Joy Reid displayed, the work that she was about, that she gave to her listeners.
LGBTQ parents and parents of LGBTQ kids, do they have parental rights?
Every parent, Joy. Every parent means every parent has the fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their children.
And liberal parents? Do liberal parents have?
And I just wanted to give you this little example of what Joy Reid really represents. And if you ask me, she represents confusion in the Black community. And when you have a Black face that gets on TV and talks about all these diabolical things, you know, people think that that's what Black people support. You know, you have tethers, and by the way, Joy Reid is a tether. Okay? They go against foundational Black Americans and undermine them and call them bots. Call us bots so that our word is not taken seriously. This is what they do. People like Roland Martin and Joy Reid, and they get on TV and then they fake out like the other people that's talking out there aren't really people, or they're not educated enough to the political arena. And so this is what you get, breakdowns. So let's listen to this interview. I'm probably going to do less breaking in, but listen.
Those rights as well.
All parents. Sure.
So let me point you to some statistics, because the question becomes then who gets to decide what all kids get to read. The Washington Post took a look at about 1,000 plus book challenges that were filed, and they found that they were filed nationwide by just 11 people. Each of these people brought 10 or more challenges against books in their school district. Together, these serial filers constituted 6% of all book challengers, but they were responsible for 60% of filings. In Florida, Tampa Bay.
This is all the bullshit, right? See, this is how you get, like, let's say like CRT, right? Like CRT is some bullshit, right? We're not really sure what's in CRT. There's some good stuff and some other shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody really knows what it is, really, you know. But these talking heads and pundits will go and say, this is material, this is something Black people, you know, this is for them. And you're blocking these books. And then when you look at the books, they're about, you know, a penis in somebody's ass. And I mean, that shit is just diabolical.
Roughly 1,100 complaints recorded in Florida since July 2022. We're talking about more than 700 just from two counties, Escambia in the Western Panhandle and Clay County. Together, those are less than 3% of the public school enrollment. 600 of those complaints, 2 people. Why should 13 people get to decide what books tens of thousands of children get to read?
Well, I'm thinking it's probably because those 13 people saw what some of the content was in the books. I mean, explicit, graphic, sexual content. And I'm happy to talk about some of that.
See, and this goes down to what I said in my last video. You have a very large percentage of people that go to work and they're concerned about 40 hours a fucking week. And they send their kids to school and they're not reading everything. They're not looking into all the shit that people like Joy Reid support, that they stick under the radar. You know, things about your kids' anus, their penis, things they should not be talking about, no, or even talking about in school, period. Like, that's not something they should learn in school. That's something they should learn at home. And so they're so diabolical that the schools, and that's why Trump disabled the Department of Education, because they allow this behavior. Like, honestly, let's have an honest discussion. Anybody that's talking about your sexual habits or behavior, that's something that should be done outside of school on your own time. Let them learn about sexual behaviors at home. Let them learn about it, but at school, they should be learning about how to succeed and what they need to succeed in our life.
Content, if you'd like to.
Well, this is the question again. The books that are being banned, I want to give you just
No books are being banned.
No, hold on a second.
Well, no, Joy, but I want to be clear. No one's banning books. Write the book, print the book, publish the book, put the book in the public library, sell the book, right? We're talking about a public school library. Children don't have unfettered access to the internet at school. I did a FOIA records request, and I wanted to see what kinds of internet sites are banned in schools, if we're going to talk about banning, right? And the subject matter in the books that moms are concerned about are the same things that kids don't have access to on the internet. So it just feels very hypocritical, right? No, why is no one out there protesting for, free the internet in schools?
Let me give you an example.
They want to protest your child learning about genitals, your kids learning about sex, your kids learning about how they can change this. Why are they learning about this in school? This is something that either they learn at home. And I'm sorry to say, some people may not teach it very well at home, but goodness gracious, I know we had sex education in school, but it was just a basic understanding of how heterosexual activity goes. Like I said, if you want to learn about something that's other than what's, do that. And nobody's keeping you from that, but we're just not concerned with that. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense or not, but let's go.
Of some of the books that have been removed from shelves as a result of the activities of organizations like Moms for Liberty.
We're not going to talk like Moms for Liberty. We're going to talk specifically Moms for Liberty.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy to have this conversation with you, Joy.
Absolutely.
But we're going to be specific about the actions of Moms for Liberty chapters.
Oh, 100%.
Because I can't be possibly responsible for every single parent in America.
But your organization is the lead. You're the leading organization.
I wish we had more. I wish we had some Black organizations like Moms for Liberty that basically scan and watch for things like the ADL. See, we don't have protections like that in our community. That's why we can continue to get used and get proxied. Let's go.
That's doing this. You have chapters all over the country, and other organizations are following your lead. And PEN America they have posted the list of books that have been removed from shelves as a result of these activities. Let me just read you a couple of them. Anne Frank's A Diary of a Young Girl. Mouse, which is a book about the Holocaust, a graphic novel. Genderqueer, a memoir. All Boys Aren't Blue. Beloved.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to these books, man. Who is learning about this in school? School should be a neutral place, okay? And perhaps, a gay person will say, well, I get to learn about heterosexual sex. Why can't I learn about someone's anus? But think about it. I feel learning about to put your genitals in a female genitals is think about it. Everybody got an ass. How fucking different is your ass from another ass, but women and men have these different things called penises and vaginas, and they learn about it. Everyone has an ass. So that's not something that I feel like we need to learn about that. Like, if you're a person that sticks your finger in your ass and you're being exploratory, that's on you, bro. Like that. I don't think that all the kids in school need to learn about that.
Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington. Ruby Bridges Goes to School. Slaughterhouse 5, The Color Purple, Forever by Judy Blume. I could go on. These are books that are not only popular, in some cases are classics. Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Let me give you an example.
Well, I'd like to answer your question.
Please do, yeah.
Yeah, so you just mentioned a list of books. And so Moms for Liberty doesn't have like a national book list. There was never a list of books that we put out and said, parents, be concerned about these books, right? We didn't do it because we want our parents to be effective advocates. So when moms are going into the libraries and the schools, when they're seeing what their children have access to, when they go to speak to the superintendent or the principal, they have accurate information, right? They're
and where are they getting
advocates.
their information from?
You can just go online to a catalog in your children's library,
Correct.
and you can see what. Okay.
In counties like Broward, counties like Clay, counties like Escambia.
Or anal rape or dildo.
You can find all sorts.
Trying to use brevity.
But like,
Wait, hold on, wait. Let me finish my question. Then you can answer. I'm going to give you time to answer, but I got to ask you first.
No, yeah, I got the question.
And so what you find is the keywords that you find, the N-word, anything, words like you just used, then you'll get out of context passages from the book, and then based on that.
Look, I'm not even going to go on to this, but I'm here to talk about Joy Reid. You know, Joy Reid, this is what she supports. Confusion. And it became particularly in the Black community, because Black people have to look at this. This is the face that Black people see. And this is the face that everyone nationally sees. And they come to assumptions that
to take books out
this
of the
is what Black people
without their
support.
parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue, that they can make that choice, because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a Black.
It's all garbage. It hurts my ears just to continue to listen to her. But I want you to understand that this is a person, a pundit, a journalist, a person that speaks on Black issues. And that's what she's talking about. The reason for us to have books, these books in our schools. She's not talking about Jim Crow. She's not talking about, and every time I stop this, it comes to this, because that tells you that that is the nature. I mean, these aren't books about, foundational Black Americans and, and the struggles and how to get to the next level, or different ideas that we need to fix our communities. No, this is about other things. And when we start talking about gender equality and all, those are other things. And this has been going on for a long time. We had a whole administration that was dedicated to other things, talking about genitalia, talking about penises, talking about buttholes, talking about, just nasty things, man. But we're not even talking about issues, surface level issues. Remember, from Black Views, your sexual preference is your personal issue. Who you sleep with at night, when the internet, first of all, the internet don't ever go off. When your computer go off, who you sleep with, that is your business, and no one else knows. You got a lot of closet, a lot of things, okay? And it should stay in that motherfucker. Like, we don't want to know. So that should never be a political issue. The political issue should be having the opportunities that have been taken and snuffed away from us. And I don't want to go into nothing else. I really wanted to talk about Joanne Reid. Joanne Reid was born in Brooklyn in 1968. Joanne Reid, her and her parents, they went out to Colorado. She came back when she was 17. Both her parents are immigrants from other countries. I don't know them, but Joanne Reid is a teller. Based on her observations, based on her discussions are anti-Black, and she has not informed the people of all these things that go on. Every time it's time for us to talk about certain issues that are important to Black people, we start talking about these things. We start talking about gay books and things that people, this is what I'm saying. That's why I got Jasmine Crockett up in here. I got her friends up here to support her, so that she would feel comfortable. Got the bald head baddie over here. They're all connected and together. And when they lose their jobs, they're going to be crying like this. This is what happens because their tricks never work, okay? Until these stations like MSNBC, CNN, until they actually get a grassroots pundit in there that's going to tell it like it is, they're going to continue to lose views and they're going to keep shuffling. Like Roland Martin, he got out here and, you know, he's begging for money. Talking about black media. You're not black media. You're the old black media. Shuffling, jiving media. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Just trying to inform the people. Miss Joanne Reid failed and fired. This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News.